Hello and welcome to the Everything is Black and White podcast. I'm Muscovy. I hope you guys are doing well. Hit subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. We're going to talk about Kalvin Phillips. He's now a West Ham player. He's joined on loan from Manchester City until the end of the season. Newcastle United liked him, watched him, scouted him, and we were led to believe that we were leading the race to sign the former Leeds midfielder temporarily this campaign, this January window. But as it's happened, he's headed down to the capital to team up with David Moyes. Let me know if you think Newcastle United should have just paid the big loan fee and got Kalvin Phillips in. Would you have liked to seen him in the black and white of Newcastle United? Getting to the numbers of what West Ham are believed to be paying his wages in full, around £140,000 a week, which is, wow, blows your mind. And then a £6 million loan fee is what's been touted about, which, okay, comes in $1 million cheaper than what Newcastle were apparently quoted. Still a huge outlay. And for me, it's a massive gamble for a player who has barely played this season, only 318 minutes. He's not going to be match fit. He's going to take 3 or 4 games to get up to scratch. And that's why I just was not in favour of this deal for Newcastle United, because the way Eddie Howe sets his team up, it's all about intensity. It's all about the high press. It's all about, starting the game really quickly. And if you haven't got the legs from the off, then you hand the opposition a massive advantage. And I just feared that Kalvin Phillips would sign for Newcastle, and it wouldn't be until February, March time when you really saw the best of him. And by that time, how many games have passed by then? You want someone who hits the ground running. No doubt in his talent, quality player. But for me, I just think when you're paying such a big loan fee, you want to know that he's going to hit the ground running. For me, you can't guarantee that. You can't guarantee that with any player, but especially someone who's not played at all this season, really. Nah, just not for me. I mean, I wouldn't have turned my nose up at it had it happened, but I'm not sitting here thinking it's going to keep me awake at all. Good luck to you at West Ham, Kalvin Phillips. But, it's football at the end of the day. But interestingly, you look at his quotes, and I know new arrivals will always do interviews and butt up the fans with what they say, but he has kind of hinted, and if you take this at face value, he's kind of hinted that West Ham was always his first choice. He mentioned how West Ham tried to sign him when he left Leeds and joined Manchester City. He mentioned how Moyes had been on the phone and, told him he tried to sign him before. So it seemed to be West Ham was his first choice. He actually said, like I say, he would have joined them had he not joined Manchester City when he left Leeds. And that kind of suggests, he actually said, it was always in the pipeline. So maybe Newcastle were always going to find it tough, even if they could pay that loan fee. They were always going to find him tough to persuade him to join Newcastle, because West Ham seemed to have his heart. Where does that leave Newcastle United? Well, it leaves them without a midfielder, a position they definitely need to strengthen, and it leaves them with only a few days left of the window to find that midfielder. I can't for the life of me work out who that would be. I know a lot of you guys are on Flight Tracker and you're watching planes and helicopters flying in Newcastle, and you're hoping that there's an agent or a player on that plane, on that vehicle, and suddenly Newcastle are going to magic up 30-40 million pounds and sign a Morgan Gibbs-White or an Arna from Everton. I can't see it happening. I would love to be proved wrong. I would love you guys to clip up this video and send it to me in a week, and suddenly Newcastle United have signed one of those, or maybe both, but I just can't see it happening. Darren Eales came out, he was very open about the financial fair play constraints. You take that at face value, and it appears Newcastle have got no funds this January to play with at all. I mean, could they even have afforded the loan fee for Kalvin Phillips? That was one question that was asked on this week's podcast. That's when Newcastle United find themselves now. But tighten the belt now, and in the summer, go big. Let me know if you'd be happy with that strategy. It appears with a few days remaining of the window, that's what they're going to have to do. And I know the owners met at Newcastle, and the last time that happened, things started to swing in Newcastle's favour in terms of the transfer market. But again, can you really see that happening? Maybe I'm just naturally pessimistic about things. And again, I'd love to be sitting here in a week's time being proved wrong and you guys taking the mick out of us. But look, board meeting at Newcastle, what were they discussing? Were they really trying to move numbers about and trying to find some cash this January? You'd like to think so, but how they do that, given the accounts and what have you, I wouldn't know. It takes a much cleverer man than me. But even if Newcastle managed to find the money, or Nottingham Forest going to let Morgan Gibbs-White go when they're battling for survival? Or Everton going to do the same, similar position to Forest? I know they've got their off-the-field financial issues, but you take out your key players, you just hand your rivals who are also battling for the same thing a massive advantage. There's no one at Forest that can do what Morgan Gibbs-White does, and Anon as the driving force, it's Everton. So I can't see any of them sides wanting to let their key players go, even if £40 million is thrown at them. You know, even if Newcastle find that money, I can't see it happening. I think it could just be a very quiet end to the window. I really do. I would like to think they get someone in. I can only see it being on loan, but even then, I just think this could be it. I really do. Quiet window, but it's quiet all over the place in it. You know, people are being very careful, very cautious. But yeah, Kalvin Phillips, a West Ham player. Like I say, let me know in the comments if you're disappointed Newcastle have missed out, and let me know what you think is going to happen in the rest of the window. I've been Andrew Musgrove, and we'll see you very soon.